Hello everyone, welcome to another casted game of AoE 4, this time between Loue MT on the French and Beastie on the HRE. Beastie currently on his AoE 4 series. He is doing the build with the HRE where you put all your vills on stone with your prelate, and then by the time you tech up, you can have your Archon on the wood line, and then you just put your prelate in the Archon as soon as you age, and it allows you to get a pretty good timing on a second TC. Loue MT, he went for a slightly slower age up, going the School of Cavalry, which is pretty expected, even though there is a bit good trade, and Lippany is good for trade as well since it's closed. He went for wheelbarrow, he's got a knight out. Now Lippany, you can, I think trade as French is very strong in this matchup because HRE doesn't really want to push you in feudal, it wants to get castle, wants to just defend. You can see Beastie, he's walling up, he's going for the second TC. You can definitely make a market here extremely early, start trading, and you can match or even exceed the vill count of the HRE, and then you can just kind of keep them in their base. Although Beastie, he does have a great spawn actually. He's got a back berry push, back gold. He has a back deer pack, and so he has 3 back berry bushes, 1 back deer pack, his back gold, and then he just walls that up and he has a second gold. So this is actually a great game for Beastie to turtle. Where's his second TC? Alright, this is weird. It's actually 6 minutes and Beastie is not clicked up yet. Where's the knight? Try to came back here. Okay, now he's going for the TC. Although he could place it now, but he's going for the lumber camp. And he's actually going for a bunch of eco tax. Yeah, he still has vills on gold, which is pretty weird as the HRE obviously they're getting their vills already have 40% more carry capacity. They already get buffed by the Archon, so a lot of HRE players, instead of going for eco techs, just try to skip to castle. And then of course we have French. Instead of going for trade, he is going for his own second TC. Looks like they're going to be coming up at the same timings. Now, when you have 2 TC for both sides, you are kind of getting a bit more benefit from the French. Because as HRE, you're spreading out more, which means you have to make additional prelates. And even then, each prelate can only buff 8 villagers, so it's unlikely that you got all your vills buffed. Meanwhile, French are just making vills faster from their TC. And he's going to finish a bit faster. Beastie was forced to make these spearmen, which delayed him, but he also does have... actually, no, Louis is ahead on ecotechs as well. Obviously, the French getting those cheaper ecotechs, able to get them a lot sooner. Yeah, we have a very passive game right now. Both player. Oh my God, Louis going for a 3rd TC. I've been seeing more and more French players do this, like the 3 TC, and okay, he's gonna get it soon, but. I remember when Age of Empires 4 first came out, you know, the theory was you just stay on 1 TSC as French and then you just look to kill your opponent. But then, you know, people learned that, hey, I can go 2 TC versus the French. All I have to do is defend against them and then I'll be in a winning position. And then the French kind of learned, hey, I can just make 1 or 2 knights, force my opponent to react to that, and then I go 2 TC behind it. And now we're seeing the further evolution, where now the French is just going those few units. They're expecting the second TC, and so now they're just going into a 3rd TC. And Beastie isn't. You can't really punish it because like the knights are just gonna keep you in your base. Your scout is probably gonna stay in your base because the scout's actually very useful for dealing with knights. Because say you've got a knight over here. Like your spearmen need to spread out. Your scout can follow the knight, but it can also intercept the charge, meaning that the knight can't 2-shot those vills, which is very useful. The villagers also having wheelbarrow. Yeah, and Beastie is just playing. He's playing super defensively, except Loue also has more TCs. Although he isn't. Okay, now he's making. Yeah, he lost a little bit of villager time. Bit expected. Yeah. So Loue, he's playing a bit too aggressive here. Like his opponent, he did spend more resources getting all those TCs up, getting all the eco techs. Right now, once these horsemen come out, I mean the archers are gonna die at least, but the archers actually already got their value. They're actually gonna kill three spearmen, so even if they die now, it's kind of all right. It does. No, we got a shit ton of vills on gold. Beastie is gonna look for his castle age. For a second, I thought he was just gonna try to fight it as feudal, but obviously that's not what you want to do as the HRE. You do want to get that castle age timing, and these double stables right now. So even though you're more afraid of the knights than you are the archers, the thing is he made the barracks extremely early before he even made his second TC. So he's been making these spearmen. Now he has the double stable, and that's really good for getting those horsemen out. Well, that spearman's dead. That's really good for getting the horsemen out fast, but it also means that once he gets castle, he can just start spamming knights. And if you didn't know, the biggest counter to knight archer is just pure knight, because the archers aren't going to really do anything. They aren't going to contribute to the fight at all, basically. So there's a little fact if you didn't know how to fight knight archer. Like, obviously you can do spearman horseman, but okay, and the castle age is already coming through for Beastie, which is very nice. Like the thing about the 3 TC is you can't really stop the HRE from getting their castle age through. Is Loue going? Louis's not going for his own castle age. Loue needs more units out. Beastie shouldn't have unit advantage if he's already getting his tech or his click out. Actually, it looks like Loue might be going for castle age. He's getting all his blacksmith upgrades too as well, though. Arching drills coming through for HRE, gonna speed up their infantry a bit. The really good thing about marching drills is it also affects religious units. It got changed about a year ago, and so now it does actually help your prelates go out and capture all those relics. Yeah, but right now this is a bit of a struggle for Loue, because Loue either needs to go in right now and decide he's gonna kill, or he should just stop making units altogether. He should especially kind of stop making archers. Yeah, see, now we got the knight transition coming in. Still making spearmen. Hasn't gotten the veterancy upgrade. You really want the veterancy upgrade for the spearmen. It turns this plus 20 versus cavalry into plus 28, and so that's just very good. It means that, especially against these French knights that can get so much health. Yeah, okay, Louis's not going for his castle. Louis's going all in here. Okay, never mind. We're about to have a bit of a game on our hands. In theory, Loue could win this, because he's been, he's on 3 TC, he hasn't gone castle, he should have eco advantage. But if we look at the numbers, it is favoring Beastie, and Beastie's also going to have the tech advantage. Although he's not getting veterancy for, okay, veterancy's about to come through. Probably should have waited. But Knight Spearman absolutely destroys Knight Archer. Although we only have a few knights out for Beastie, so it is still winnable, but he is going to lose all these archers. And that means there's going to be nothing left to kill the spears. Marching drills makes this way better, because it allows the spears to close the distance, and it doesn't let the knights fight up against the other knights, which is what they really want to do in this scenario. And now Loue is on the back foot. He is going to be forced back to his base. This is going to allow Beastie to get all the relics, and as we can see, he's already got 2 on the way. This one's probably going to be captured soon. If Beastie might even try to get this 5th relic if he can. But right now, BC is in a great spot. Even though Loue went 3 TC, as you can tell, sometimes 3 TC is not the correct answer. especially not against the HRE, where you really do want to pressure them and not let them get to this stage in the game, because this is where they're the scariest, in my opinion at least. Alright, Beastie, of course, Beastie's not going to be looking to kill his opponent right now. I doubt. He just wants to keep him in his base, make sure he can get his map control, pick up these relics. And then another thing to note is Beastie's going to be doing his farm transition, and the French player is not going to want to do that, which means that Beastie, in a couple minutes, the French player is going to run out of food and have to start making farms. But these farms under Arkin, each one, you can basically, they gather faster than boars. This is an extremely good food source. And if we look at the numbers right now, Beastie, you know, he's using up all his food sources. I doubt he's going to go on the map and take these deer. But once this farm transition comes through, it's going to be really good for Beastie. But Loue right now has not been putting anything into farms. He is still feuded. He is going to be able to push this back, but Beastie already has what he came for. He has 3 relics. And Beastie right now, honestly, he should... I mean, this is technically a good fight, but there's not enough knights here. There's only 3 knights. So you don't really have the numbers to take on even the feudal knights. But Louis is now going to get his castle H2. It is going to be Royal Institute. Now, you know, you do have 15 knights, so Royal Institute is pretty good here. Okay, Beastie sending out the relic, going to try to pick up this relic. And yes, it's not going to happen. Oh, Beastie's... He does see the relic, he's just going to kill it. Yeah, as the HRE, you know there's like only a 1 in 100 chance you actually get this relic. But you made all those prelates to pick up the relics, and you're like, might as well use them, might as well try. Now, is Beastie going to look for Imp? Because that's the only mistake he could make, and I don't think he's going to. He has a lot on gold. He's making more gold than food. And he hasn't even put down the next relic. I think that might be a macro mistake. Because I don't know what you're going to use all this gold for. I mean, I guess pump knights. He's getting his veterancy for horsemen. How many... Beastie, you don't have any horsemen. Why are you getting veterancy for horsemen? I mean, I guess once he's predicting once French gets castle and starts making these arbs. But horsemen actually don't really counter arbs that well. They've got too much armor. You do need catapults. So it's kind of weird. What? Yep. Beastie, you've got so much gold right now. Please. Take vills off gold. Just take them, put them on the wood line. I mean, like, you don't even want to go into Lanchets here, because Lanchets don't really do great against knights, and they get countered by archers. He's not making knights right now. What is Beastie missing? Or what is he doing? He's still just really gathering gold right now. This might give Louis an advantage to go in. Is Royal Bloodlines coming through? Royal Bloodlines is almost here. Beastie does not really have an army to fight this right now. Like 13 spearmen against 18 Royal Bloodlines knights. Obviously these man-at-arms are decent against the knights, but if the knights get their charge off, it's still not bad for them. The Lanchets actually coming in though. They're gonna force the charge. And are we properly microing? Yeah, we are. Yeah, Beastie's gonna get forced back here. Even though all these units technically counter knights, the French loyal knights are just beasts. Okay, we do have the relic outpost. That's gonna save Beastie here. You can't really go into... You can't just chill under these relic outposts. They do so much damage. They attack so fast, so much range. Ooh. Louis doing the correct move. He's gonna take over this big gold, this stone. Beastie was probably trying to get stone for a keep, but that's not gonna happen. Where's this other gold? Beastie's now... He needs to secure this, or it's... I mean, it's going to be a bit of trouble, but I say that, but he's got so much gold stacked up. Yeah, he's not even gathering right now. It's just all from the relics. Alright, and now we got the Arbs out. And Arbs are a trouble. Because Arbs do great against Spearmen. Spearmen doing 9 damage against the 5 armor, so they're only doing 4 damage a pop. They counter the knights and the man-at-arms directly, but also these lancets, they're so expensive and they have so low HP that making crossbows and arbs against lancets is not a bad idea if you have a solid front line. We do see this Palace of Swabia. How many vills does Beastie have? 90 vills. This Palace of Swabia isn't gonna do much, but I guess it's more about just getting to Imperial right here, because HRE does not want to fight against French in a prolonged feudal, especially when French has royal bloodlines. You do want to kind of drag it out to Imperial, because then you're getting your own Imperial text, and even though you know it's not as good as royal bloodlines, you have your own biology, which is almost as good. I would love to see some trade, to be honest. It's actually it's not really that necessary. He does have 130 vills. It's probably better to just mine everything out on the map and then you start your trade. But yeah, let's see. It looks like Lou's just kind of trying to get his own Imperial. The thing about HRE is they actually don't really have the best Imperial age. I know it's surprising because HRE wants to get to Imperial, but the whole thing about HRE Imperial is you get there before your opponent, you get all your upgrades in, and then like if you have man-at-arms that have their elite upgrades and elite army tactics, then they can roll over even crossbows. But it's all about that timing. Beastie actually doesn't have the most farms right now. I can't actually see, but yeah, only about 30, less than 30. Yeah, only 22 farms under Arkham. That's kind of low for this point in the game. Yeah, Beastie getting the cannon emplacements now. It's not worth it. Like, look how much damage those things do. These are Royal Bloodlines Knights, and 3 shots on it almost killed this one, and it's done AoE damage to all these knights. Yeah, okay, Louis is doing the correct thing, capturing all these sacred sites. You don't want to try to fight a you don't want to try to go into an HRE's base when they're turtling this hard. If you can force them out into field, that's way better. Louis already got his keep up, getting a siege workshop down. Now he's gonna probably just make a single treb and start trebbing this. Is Louis close to castle? He's nowhere. Or Imperial. He's kind of close. He is gonna lose this keep though. Not gonna be able to keep it alive. And now I expect us to see Red Palace. College of Artillery is actually. I was such a big College of Artillery fan for so long. I'm like, people should stop going to Red Palace. It's just a keep. But the thing is, if you have a Culverin and the other person have a Culverin, you're still gonna be, once siege work comes through, even through chemist. So okay, let me go over this a bit. Without chemistry and without siege workshops, a Royal Culverin will one-shot the opponent's Culverin. But even if you have chemistry and siege works, suddenly you're not able to one-shot, and then you're still two-shotting. So you're not really getting anything out of the Culverin, which is what you want. The Rebalbaquin. Actually, I am forgetting. So you are getting a Culverin, which is very nice. So I should say you're not getting anything more out of the Culverin. Okay, but now enough about that, because Beastie is putting the pedal to the metal. He is going to be going home. And where is that Imperial? That Imperial should have come up like 2 minutes ago. Because now Beastie, with all his Imperial upgrades in, Louis is not going to want to fight this. Especially with these 2 mangas out and no siege workshops. He's going to be panicked putting down these siege workshops, but it's going to be a bit too late. And we don't actually even have a keep here to give the influence to all these buildings that are so nicely made. That would have been a great help, but obviously it is better to get these keeps up in the mid map to get the big gold control, but BC already killed one keep. He's killing the other, and this is the difference. A bombard versus a trebuchet. The trebuchet attacking every 12 seconds with only 200 damage. The bombard attacking 5 seconds with 500. It's the bombard doing so much more if you can just keep it alive, and these single bombards are doing so much damage. This single bombard killed 2 keeps and a bunch of production. Beastie or Lucifron gonna be able to hold this, it looks like. But Beastie is just in a very good position. The French does not have access to any of these big golds anymore, and we do see the forward TCs, so you can get your E repairs and another bombard coming up. Loue looks to be out of stone. He might have just bought some. Yeah, I think he's buying stone right now. Gonna try to use the springlets to kill the bombards, but these do not have roller shutter triggers, and so they are just gonna get killed by the bombards probably. Are gonna be forced back. The keep does die. Loue got Imperial. Where's your Imperial, Loue? Excuse me? I don't see the Imperial. Oh, okay, there it is. It's Red Palace. It is Red Palace. Red Palace gonna mean that all the keeps and TCs out of French do become much more deadly. They did make it so the arm placement, it now, instead of having a 10 range, it has 9.5, which is actually a big nerf, because it means you can't just like click on bombards right as they try to roll up to the red keep. As you can see here, this should have oh, it says it still has 10 tile range. Okay, well, they did say they patched it so that they gave them 9.5. I'm not sure if they just didn't change the description or if they actually didn't change it. Because I have noticed they said they changed other things, like hunting cabins, for ruse, like on hideout and stuff, but then they kind of reverted them, and they shadow reverted them. Like, they didn't tell anyone, but now they're still generating an insane amount of gold. Over on this side, Loue really needs trade right now. He's gonna rapidly run out of gold. How much gold do we have left for him? None here. Does he have any gold? Okay, Loue doesn't have any gold, but now he is making the correct call. He's making all the trade. But it might be a bit too late for Loue, because he does not... It is saying he's getting gold, but this number is going down. It is average. I think he just ran out of gold. He did have enough gold to get his elite Royal Knights through, which is nice, but elite Man-at-Arms against elite Royal Knights, suddenly it becomes a lot better for the Man-at-Arms, because they're getting 20% extra health and 20% extra damage, which can be quite good. Yeah, the Horseman raid's coming through. Not gonna let this trade get up. Gonna start taking the Sacred Sites, and now we're just down to that 1 relic, 3 Sacred Site income, not mining any, not generating any gold. I do think that Loue, like, he tried to boom really hard, and then he tried to do feudal aggression, but you know, you can do one or the other. If you can definitely boom hard against HRE, if you're fine with them getting to Imperial with like 3 or 4 relics, then yeah, you can definitely boom hard and look for an Imperial timing. You do have the Arbs, you do have you know, Red Keep. You have a lot going for you, and you know, you have the cheaper units. If you actually put the keep in influence of all your production buildings, but Loue not doing that. How many traders do we have? Does it actually tell us? Not really. The trader's not even being produced. Yeah, Beastie is completely in the base everywhere. This is why I say you can go to the late game against HRE, you know, with your 3TC French. But if there's one player you don't want to go to the late game against as HRE, it is Beastie. Beastie has a phenomenal Imperial Age as HRE. I think like his signature strat used to be, or he really popularized how strong you can make the HRE Imperial. There was a time where I remember seeing a bunch of tournaments where it looked like Beastie was completely dead. He was getting feudal rush or something, and he decides to go imp, and you just see so many units out of the other player, and you were like, Beastie is completely dead right now, but he gets the carrion placements up, he gets the culverins, and somehow he just lives, and he just kind of shows the strength. Because now what Beastie's gonna do, he probably, we have the upgrade here, which increases the health of walls and outposts, and Beastie is just going to spread across the map. Yeah, we can already see the walls, the outposts over here, and he's just going to divide the map, and then he's going to start pressing in every single place. And, you know, Loue might hold the front, but he's not going to hold the sides as well. Yeah, we got more rams coming in. The ARBs can actually kill rams, because rams... Well, they could kill rams, but these rams have siege works, and so they have the extra 10 pierce armor. So instead of doing 10 each time, they are doing, they are only doing 3, because you've got, you know, +3 damage. So that's a bit of a problem. This red keep's actually just gonna go down to 4 rams. This is really bad for Beastie. Insufficient stone. Wait, what? The red palace costs stone to repair now? Oh, I get. When the fuck did they change that? If you didn't know, keep landmarks used to cost wood to repair. I actually have no clue when they changed that. And I keep pretty active on the changelog. I read all of the patch notes. Yeah. Loue might not know this either, because he keeps trying to repair, but he doesn't have any stone, and so it's just not working, and he's like, what the heck? AoE4 devs, by the way, they love to, I know I just talked about this, but they love to introduce these little shadow patches that they don't actually announce the changes for. There's actually a lot of them. Most recently, they nerfed the cost of the camels from the camel riders from the Abbasid from 240 to 220, and you know, I was thinking, wow, that's a really good change. I did think that the camels were pretty weak for their role. Like, they would win against knights, but it didn't feel like they did that much damage. And, you know, it's kind of better if you're going to go for that cavalry to just get, like, a single camel rider to debuff all the enemy cav, and then, you know, and then make knights instead of camel riders. So I was like, that's really cool. But then I looked at their attack speed. Their attack speed got nerfed by 10%, and like the AoE4 devs didn't really even say anything about that. And so I just wonder how many changes had they made like that and just like not told anyone, and people didn't really realize it. Oh, these lancets now, but these lancets, when you get elite army tactics on lancets, they start shredding. Look at this, they're doing 30 damage a pop. If you got some holy inspiration on those things as well, as you can see, they are just cleaning up knights. They become extremely scary once elite army tactics comes through. Just shredding everything. They're gonna get on top of all these arbs, and I think this is kind of the hidden counter, because these horsemen, these are elite horsemen, they are only doing 29 damage to ranged units, whereas these lancets are doing 28. They're also attacking faster than a horseman. The horseman has 1.75, the lancet 1.38, and then they're also doing AoE damage. So like, I don't know, if you're going up against ranged units, you might as well just make lancets instead of horsemen, because they actually are a lot better against these arbs, for example. Beastie he's constantly going in here. I feel like I haven't really been casting enough. We are seeing that new ability from these traders. They're generating 1 gold every 6 seconds, basically enclosures for traders. Loue can stabilize from this position, but he's not getting enough food. Yeah, like he's generating twice as much gold as food, but you need, if you're gonna spam arbs, you need a bunch more food. And we still don't have a keep. Like this is really one of the strengths of, you know, I think it's actually the strongest thing about French late game is you have 25% cheaper units, and we are not seeing any keeps on these productions. These productions are actually being keeped up. But yeah, that's another reason why Guildhall is a lot better in once it comes to the late game, because you need your keeps to like secure mid map, but then you can run on a stone and you don't have keeps on your production, and then once the keeps die, oh, he's just gonna, loue MT's just gonna tap out. Alright. He was not, I didn't expect that, but I guess you're facing Beastie, you've got all these bombards, and you've got no way to kill them. Especially when, you know, you only have Springholds against Culverins. But, good game out of both players. Beastie gonna continue to survive on his AoE 4 hardcore series. I will keep covering these because I think these games are really cool, but I'll see you guys later.